Fire away.
How would you characterize the first workout? What did you think?
My gut feeling just watching us move around was, I guess I should say my initial reaction was, it was certainly better than our first practice in the spring. I liked the way the guys flew around, seemed to have a decent retention level. It's hard to tell anything, obviously, in just helmets, but you can tell that there's some guys out there that have spent some of their own free time trying to figure out what's going on, and it showed a little bit today in a good way.
You ready to name a starting quarterback now?
Not quite yet.
Just had to ask, didn't I?
Do you have a sense as coach coming in, what kind of retention level there might be? I mean, is there a feeling that you might have coming in?
Oh, I guess I would say I was optimistic that it would be pretty high. Obviously the new guys, the guys that weren't here in the spring, it's pretty rough on those guys. They're just drinking water through a fire hose right now. But the guys that were here in the spring, I don't know if I felt like that or just hoped, but walking off the field, I feel pretty good about just us having a general understanding of what's going on.
Did you get a sense for how some of the guys that missed spring were moving around, Facyson and Marshawn and Ladler, guys like that?
It's a little hard to tell right now. They looked fine out there right now. Khalil's obviously got to get confidence and all that sort of stuff. But I would, the few times I paid specific attention to it, I felt like they were moving around pretty well. I'd have to really look at it to say definitively, but I know Isaiah didn't do much in the spring, and he moved around pretty well.
What are you looking for from those veteran guys? Something more than retention? Is execution with them, or being able to are you looking to see that they were studying over the summer too?
Yeah, I'd like to see us, overall execute at a higher level, and I think, we've got a long way to go, don't get me wrong, but, it was a step forward through the summer, from the end of spring. So, from our older guys, it's got to be a given that they know what's going on. It's got to be them helping the other guys along, and we're seeing some of that. That's a good thing.
You mentioned Isaiah. Is that what you're looking for from him too, helping especially with?
Yeah, he's kind of been like that. Like, he doesn't need a lot of coaching when it comes to helping guys out. He's kind of naturally outgoing and like that, and might as well have had a whistle around his neck most of spring. He's a sharp kid that picks it up quickly and is not afraid to help those guys out.
You were pretty regimented in the specific phases in the spring. There were 3 or 4 that you had. Do you have a similar approach this August? Do you have any segments up?
Well, yeah, we'll go base installation for the first 6. Then we'll take a day off. We'll get into a little bit of down and distance in those first 6, just meaning really working on first and third down and trying to get everything going special teams wise. And then obviously we've got to get ready to play games. So we've got to get some great situational work, and we'll really turn our attention to some really all the end of game scenarios that you can think of, almost on a daily basis after that. And and try and then when we get through that phase, we'll start to turn our attention to opponents, and that's what we want.
All right, questions?
How does it feel to finally be back on the field after dealing with all these injury problems you've had?
It feels great. I just kind of had to get back to where I knew I was. Just working hard in the weight room, working hard in the training room every single day, and just taking it one day at a time. Trying not to get too frustrated with everything, and just taking a day at a time, and just keeping forward, not holding my head down, just keep pressing forward and try to attack the workout, try to attack the rehab and as best as I can, and just go from there every single day.
Probably 100%.
Yeah, seems like I'm getting back to where I once was, and it feels good.
What happened in the spring? I forget exactly. What he said.
It was just a little cleanup that I just got in my knee. So nothing too serious, just a cleanup.
When it happened, so you like, are you kidding me? Like again, like just get past this.
Yeah, I guess that feeling just automatically comes with it. But you know, like I said, I just keep pushing forward and I don't hold my head and I just keep attacking the workout, keep attacking the rehab.
What kind of adjustment is it going from one coach to another in secondary?
It's an adjustment, but you know, Coach Mitchell's a great guy. He has his own style, which is expected, and you know, we were very open to that, and we're just going to flourish with that, and we're going to make sure we just perfect everything that he wants to teach us, and take it one game at a time.
How much of the young guys really looked up to you guys like Mook and Adonis, you know, you being a guy that's been here for a long time and been on the field a lot?
They look up to us. You know, we're a tight group, and we try to keep it that way. You know, the whole team is a very tight group. You know, no one's divided on this team. So we've made strides, and we just want to keep progressing together. But you know, Mook and Adonis, they're doing great. You know, they're ones that you know are very headstrong, and they want to get it right, and you know that's all the time. So they're doing great, and you know we're a tight group.
How much different is it, just as a program, coming in here every day and, you know, new faces? How much different was first practice? How much different are expectations? Just, we think that it's probably a lot different, but is it that much different than what you've been through since you've been here?
It's different. I think the most important part of it is just the pace. You know, that was my first practice. You know, they got a chance to go through it during the spring, and they said it was fast, but I knew it was fast, but I didn't really know how fast until I actually got out there today, and it's really fast. So, you know, that's just the style that, you know, we want to play, and we need to play that way, and that's just how we got to attack it every single day. Just go out there and put the pedal to the metal and just keep going.
Coach Foster,
Go ahead.
Coach Foster has mentioned how he wants to play a little bit more zone defense this year, and you've been a guy that's been playing in this man defense a lot. How does that affect you on the field, and what kind of adjustments do you have to make to your game?
Not really any adjustments, really. Just, you know, you want to perfect your craft in every single way. So whether it's man, whether it's zone coverage, you know, you just want to go out there and get to as close as perfect as possible. You know, we played zone, we played a lot more man last year, and at its times, you know, it kind of took a toll, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking forward to just moving on, and whatever style we want to play, we just need to play that way. No hands down, and just keep going with it.
What was the offseason like this year compared to last season and past seasons with the new strength staff?
Just fast paced. You know, we have a great strength coaches this year, and you know we had great strength coaches last year. Style's a little bit different, but you know both sets were great, and this year we really picked up the pace a lot. A lot of fast movements, a lot of conditioning. So we feel like we're in shape, and we feel like we just got to attack it every single day, just like that.
Was there more sort of, Ken was talking about how it's more sort of preventive maintenance type stuff, you know, with, like, for example, with his shoulder, he's doing more shoulder exercises and things like that. Did you do any of those kinds of things to sort of isolate, you know, a part of your body to make sure an injury doesn't come back, maybe?
Oh, yeah. The coaches did a great job with monitoring all of us and what we needed to work on specifically. And like as for me with my knee, we would do a lot of isolation stuff. So the coach did a great job with that, and I appreciate him every single day. And we just keep doing that. I'm not gonna stop in my rehab. Just keep going with it. And you know, we do a lot of isolation stuff when it comes to injuries and whatnot. But they did a great job with it this summer and this spring, and we look forward to keep going with it.
Under different staffs, how did it feel different, or did it feel the same?
It felt the same because we've pretty much been doing the same format through spring ball. I mean, spring ball from fall ball felt different last year, but it was kind of the same format as our first couple of days of spring ball.
Any different for you personally going in this year as a guy with experience on the field as opposed to last year when you were a freshman and just not used to being out there?
Yeah, just the time staying at defensive end really gave me an opportunity to feel like I knew what I was doing a lot more.
Looks like the defensive line, you know, a lot of the backups, they've added a lot of weight this year. Some of the defensive tackles might have lost a little bit of weight. How can you assess your unit as a whole right now?
I feel like we're solid. Everybody made their August goals for weight. Because some guys did need to lose, some guys need to gain, and I feel like we're all where we need to be.
What have you seen from guys like Trayvon Hill and Houshing Gaines, guys who are really just trying to get on the field, and how have they progressed so far this offseason?
They're really good at making plays, and they're just a little inconsistent, and they just need to keep working. And they're just young, you know. When you're young, you make young mistakes. You get those kinks out as you get older.
I say you weren't necessarily full contact in the springs, and I mean, I guess you guys didn't do any contact stuff today, but you pick up the pace pretty easily when you go out there.
Yes, sir, definitely. You know, I look forward to being out there with my teammates. It's kind of miserable for me sitting out for most of the spring and having to watch, and so to be out there with everyone and go full speed was pretty fun.
Was that just precautionary, or?
Yeah, just for the younger players that needed more reps, and then I got a chance to kind of sit back and watch from a different point of view and kind of help them out. So.
Did you have to be convinced about that, or is that something that you were?
I mean, the headman said it, so I'm not gonna argue with the headman.
What have you seen from those younger guys that you mentioned? How have they really progressed so far this offseason?
I think the ones that came in January have progressed the most. Seeing them from when they first got here straight out of high school to now, where they're getting comfortable in the offense, and you can start to see them show really nice glimpses and flashes of really nice things. And so I think the more reps they get, then the more comfortable they'll become, and they'll be good.
Brad Cornelson said just a couple days ago that he's looking for 6 to 8 receivers heading into the season. Do you guys feel like you have that number?
Yes, sir. I think definitely, and I think we can get closer to that 8 number as well. That'll be ready to play and to contribute when they get in the game.
How different will that be for you? Cam was talking about, obviously you can't play 75 plays a game like you used to in this kind of offense. Is it a relief to know that there's a little more depth, and you won't have to marathon every weekend?
Me and Cam both remember a couple of times of last year where we were winded, very winded to say the least, and we knew we had to suck it up and go in. So to kind of get those few breaths in between series here and there will be critical to keep our legs fresh.
How do you and Cam really feed off of each other? You guys, I mean, have been here for a couple of years now. How do you guys really work on the field? How do you guys mesh?
Just really, it starts off the field. You know, me and Cam spend a lot of time together, especially watching film and things like that. So, and we're close. So anything he feels like I need to work on, or vice versa, that we can tell each other, and there's no hard feelings. We know that we both want the best from each other. So I think we take that and we transfer it onto the field, and then that's what you see what you get.
What did you get Cam for Valentine's Day?
A Willie Burton jersey.
Real?
Yeah, I got him.
What was this offseason like for you? You start to get a little more tension after a season like you had last year, and do you reset goals now and to sort of break those records, or what's the mindset after you?
Just to be better than last year, and in every asset of my game, being bigger, faster, stronger, being more detailed in my route running, and being more precise, and not wasting any movement. So just to sharpen my arm and to keep getting better.
What did you work on with the strength and conditioning coach over the summer? Did you put on weight?
When we reported for spring ball, I was 179, and as of last Wednesday, I was 195. So we put on muscle, and I spent a lot of time with them. Even during practices, I would be when I wasn't helping the younger receivers, I was over there with the strength coaches, doing things in the sand and things like that, just to strengthen my legs and my core and my upper body. So I spent a lot of time with them in the weight room, and it's really paid off.
Did you spend all summer here? Did you go anywhere for a week or so, work with somebody, a trainer, or another receiver, or any other group of guys?
No. For the majority, I was here. When I was home, I went up to my high school, worked out with my old high school teammates and some of the current players that are there now, and my old coaches. So that's about it.
Is there a big difference in the passes that you're getting from the different quarterbacks that are back there throwing to you during drills? Can you tell?
To be honest, you can hardly tell. We're trying to go so fast. We're running around. know who's at quarterback half the time, to be completely honest with you. Either it's Molly or Gerard, is it Dwayne or Josh. I mean, the ball's coming, and we just worry about being at the spot that we're supposed to be at. So,
Obviously, Coach Burton's still on the staff, but what has Holman Wiggins brought to the wide receiver group?
a lot of energy. He's another coach that he's a high energy guy, and he likes to get after it. And he tells us all the time the work's gonna get done. So we got to come ready to work every day.
Non-fashion questions.
How beneficial is it to have so many guys on the line, including yourself, who have taken so many snaps together?
The biggest thing I've, playing with these guys is trust. I trust the guys next to me, and, I have trust, throughout the years, it was being thrown my sophomore, freshman year, redshirt freshman, with a bunch of guys who were studs. I was the young buck, and, it was real different, but now it's like we're all upperclassmen, we're all tough guys, and it's really cool to have that trust with everyone.
What have you seen from Oshalo and Nijman, guys that are really fighting for that last spot on the line? How have they looked this offseason?
Oh, they've looked great. I mean, Yash is, just look at him. He's a phenom, and he's a great guy too. And Parker, not much. The guy's huge. He can move anybody. So it's, those guys, they're working, their tails off to do it, and I really hope the best for both of them.
You've always been one of the best strength and conditioning athletes here since you arrived. So
I'd say Augie, but
okay, one of the best. Okay, but so was this an easy adjustment for you, changing up some of the off-season routine?
Yeah, it was awesome. I loved Coach Gentry. He was a stud. Let's just say that he was an awesome guy, and I looked up to him and everything. Then it was a transition, but it was a good transition. I feel that we've all benefited, and it really helps with the offense and everything like that. So I like the new strength and conditioning coach, Coach Hilgard. He's the man too. So I have a lot of respect for him too. So it's pretty cool seeing both sides.
What's the tempo of practice like? It seems like obviously it's a lot faster. Brandon said it's been a challenge. Do you find it challenging?
It's hot. That's the biggest thing I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about the next play. I'm not really thinking about how fast we have to run it or anything like that. But it's fun being out there, and I'm just happy to take it play by play.
What are you aiming to get better at this season? Do you look at specific things within your? You're gonna say everything, but are there specific things within that you really are focusing in on?
Standing too high in pass pro, not having my feet set, lunging, head down, all these things, even in run blocking, missing blocks that I shouldn't miss, and, just little things and big things too, just trying to be an all-around good left guard.
That sounds like a lot of things. Do you think you're not very good?
That's why we're practicing.
You seem like one of your biggest critics, your own biggest critic.
Well, I feel that I didn't come from a family where, it was, lollipops and pats on the back. I came from a tough family, military dad, tough mom. I was the toughest person I know. So, I didn't come from a family where, you need to be cocky, or confidence is a little bit different, but where you're saying you're the best or something like that, I just don't believe in that, and I don't think it's true either. So, I'm always willing to get better. I'm always, thinking about the next thing to improve my play. So, it might be I'm the biggest critic, but to me, I feel that that's a good thing.
Wyatt, outside of pace, which is no small thing, but it sounded like Fuente was saying that a lot of the concepts and things you did in the previous scheme, not just you, but the other guys beside you, translates well to this offense. Have you found that to be the case, like mentally and everything, that the things as an offensive lineman work in this offense, and there's not a lot of, wrinkles that you need to pick up scheme-wise?
It's a new offense. You're always learning something new every day. Coach Weiss is a great coach, and he teaches me something new every day that, I'm messing up here or messing up there. So, it's always a learning process, even, with learning plays, in the spring or, in the summer and in the fall. It's always a battle to try to keep on getting better. Footwork, stance, the right way to go, just little things like that, or big things, kind of.
Yeah.
How was day one at safety?
Different. Good. I think I could be like a good player on defense. You know, something different for me. I haven't played it like in forever, so I feel like I just need a couple of days to get back into it or whatever. But I think I'll be straight.
I know you did a little bit of everything at Hampton. Did you play that your senior year at Hampton? Or?
Never played safety or a corner. I always played like outside linebacker or something like that.
What's different about, Coach Fuente was talking about, obviously you've been moving forward your entire career here at Tech. Now you got to backpedal. What's the transition other than just changing direction?
I wouldn't say it's a backpedal. You know, it just it feel like I can be better be better for this team on defense. So I feel like I need to like make whatever happen in order for us to make the team better. I mean, I just feel like this is a good decision by my coaches and me to like go along with it.
Did you initiate that decision, or was that something the coaching staff brought up?
Some of the coaching staff brought up, and I mean I was kind of already thinking, you know, like, well, what if I would have went to defense? You know, like what would have been the outcome? You know, but I'm glad they pushed me to make that decision. You know.
When was that?
When?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was this summer. Maybe summer one, like towards the end of summer one. Like this is pretty new to me.
Did you do a lot of like studying or anything off season to kind of get ready for this since you knew about it?
A little bit. I wouldn't say a lot, but whenever I could meet, whenever like we can meet or whatever, I was in there trying to learn whatever I can learn.
You said you've been thinking about making a switch position.
Well, not really a switch. I was just thinking like, what if, you know, like maybe I would have been, you know, just what if.
Was there a part of you that was reluctant to make the switch when they brought it up because you see how they utilize receivers in this offense and the jet sweep potential, which you have some experience with, and I guess maybe could still do? Maybe, I mean, is there?
I feel like I could still do it, but I mean, not really. I feel like it was like I don't know. Honestly.
Has Coach Scott really spent any extra time with you as a guy who's still really getting adapted to the safety position?
Yes, on the field, in the meeting room, like he made sure he talked to me specifically on like points I needed to know and needed to learn. I feel like they want to push me to be able to play like this upcoming season, so I feel like he's spending like extra time, even on the field when the first team was going. He has me beside him, just telling me, like walking me through everything that's going on. And it's coming pretty easy. Like I thought it was gonna be very hard, but honestly, it's pretty easy.
Are you getting any work in the return game?
I don't know. Not today. But it might be some along down the line.